Hello everyone, welcome to Bookarazzi and this is Minu. So today it's going to be another book haul video and I'm so very excited to show you all the books that I got. So before going into the video, I would like to give you a little bit information about this book haul. So I actually bought these books from a book fair that happened in my city, and it was before the second wave, and it was completely safe. It was taking all the precautions I've been supposed to, and I was kind of very open with this book fair. I do not know most of the books that I bought this time, and I was able to buy them successfully. It was because of Goodreads. So Goodreads was immensely helpful to me and my friend throughout this buying process. So yeah. So the first book on the list would be A Proper Family Adventure by Chrissy Manby. And this book is a story of a family. So the Bensons, they decide to go on a luxurious family trip and they are very much looking forward to it. But the protagonist, Chelsea Benson, is not very sure about this trip because she knows it's not going to be an epic or quintessential family trip, because the last time she went along with her folks, she nearly became crazy. But whereas her family, on the other hand, is very excited about this trip, and they keeps on telling Chelsea that her boyfriend is going to propose to her on this ship. But she's very sure this is never gonna happen, but still she cannot help, feeling the butterflies. So that's the storyline of this book, and Chelsea is just waiting for something crazy and something very abnormal to happen around the corner. And I think it is going to be one adventurous and funny read. I'm so very excited for it, and I presume this book talks about family bonds, the relationships, and family drama with all other funny aspects that comes along with the family. So I am a sucker for family dramas, so I am so looking forward to read this. I think it's gonna be a very funny summer kind of a read. So yeah. So the next book on the list would be The Night Before Christmas by Scarlett Bailey. So come on, I love Christmas books of any kind, so that's one of the reasons why I picked up this book in the first place. So this book is about a woman called Lydia who is invited to a Christmas party by one of her oldest friends, and she is very excited to attend this party. But then she is snowed down along with her current boyfriend, an old flame, and a hunky stranger. So who she will select? So that's the story of this book, I presume. So I'm so very excited to read this, and I am saving this book for Christmas. I'm coming, baby. And oh my god, I love this cover. So if you notice, keenly, most of the books in this haul has a beautiful cover. So now you can say don't judge a book by its cover, but that's what I did. But then Goodreads helped me to be more sane, so you can definitely trust my haul. The next book on the list would be The Financial Lives of the Poets by Jess Walter. So this book is about this guy who is a financial journalist, and suddenly he decides to leave behind his job and he decides to start this website through which he could give financial advices to people. But then one day he realizes that he's going to lose his business, he's going to lose his house, his wife, and his sanity and whatnot. So, because of this financial problem, he becomes more insane. He starts, suspecting his wife on every single thing. And how he actually, sort out his financial issue and get his life back together is the story of this book. And it also says in the blurb that he gets hold of some high-grade dope, and he would be able to sort his life out if he can actually, sell these things. Wait, is this what I think it is? Yes, it is. I think it will be great. So the next book on the list would be Tequila Sunsets by Sam Hawken. So yeah, look at the title, look at the cover. It's really great, and you don't have to be fooled by the cover and the title and all. So this book has a very good rating, and I'm sure it's gonna be really nice. It does not just have a good cover or a good title. it also has a good plot. So this is a story which is happening in the border between Texas and Mexico. So we all know all the crime that's happening over in the border and the border issue and things like that. So it's happening especially in El Paso, which is one of the most safest cities in America, and Ciudad Juarez, I think I'm pronouncing it properly, it's in Mexico, and it's the most dangerous places in the world. So this book actually focuses on the criminal activities, the border issues, the gang wars and things like that. And I'm so very excited for this because I actually like these Mexican style stories and the border stories. It's very interesting, and I checked the rating and it was amazing. And this book has also been longlisted for the best crime novel by the Crime Thriller Awards. So I guess it's gonna be really nice, and I get a very good vibe from this book. So the next book on the list would be His and Hers by Mike Gale. So this book says a cat, a flat, and a couple who think it's over. So it's about a couple who have been together for nearly a decade, but then they find out they're not compatible enough, and they decide to part their own ways by splitting up all the things in their home. But then after like nearly 3 years later, as fate would have it, they are meeting again, and they are having this conversation like what and where did it all go wrong. So will they be able to rectify and get back together, or is it too late for that? It is the story of this book, so I think it'll be nice. So the next book on the list would be Atonement by Ian McEwan. So this book has been suggested to me by Jenny Ashcroft, the author of Meet Me in Bombay. So I've already told you in another video how much I love Meet Me in Bombay and how close it is to my heart. So it is also a book which is based on war, and it's a very emotional book. So when I was having a conversation with the author, she told me this book is very close to her heart and it was a very emotional read for her. So the way she described this book and how much she loved this book made me want to read it. So I immediately decided to read it at any cost, and when I found this book on the book fair, I immediately got it, and I know I'm gonna love it. But I know it's gonna be emotionally draining, but I think I have to read it, and I think I need some time to emotionally prepare for this book, but I know I'm gonna love it. So the next book on the list would be The House at Riverton by Kate Morton. So I actually bought a few books from the author. The next book is The Forgotten Garden, and the other is Distant Hearts. So it's actually a series, I guess. So how am I saying is because the first place I bought this book is because I kept on coming across books with beautiful covers. When I noticed it was by the same author, when I asked my Goodreads, it said it was a series. I'm sure these two books are a series. The Forgotten Garden is the sequel to The House at Riverton. So I'm very sure these two are a duology. But I do not know whether this thing also falls in the same category, but the storyline seems more or less similar. I couldn't find that by reading the blurb. But this is the third book by the author, and these are the first two books by the author, and she is quite famous and she's pretty loved for her work. So I read the blurb and it was really very interesting. So it's about an aristocratic family, and the story is happening in the backdrop of war, and it has a lot of mystery. It's very thrilling, it's very suspenseful, and I think it's the kind of book I would love. And also an author that I know of has read these books and has given a wonderful review and ratings for this, and I think I would love it. I solely bought this book because of the cover in the garden, because I love this garden so much, but believe me, it has wonderful ratings and I am so very excited to read them. So the last and the final book on the list would be David Baldacci's The Simple Truth. So I wanted to buy this book very badly because it's one of the best books by him. So it's about a 25-year-old Rufus who was convicted for a murder that he believes he has committed. But then he gets a letter and he realizes after all he didn't kill that person, and he sends an appeal to the Supreme Court. and then his lawyer and the Supreme Court clerk, who was the first one to see his appeal, has been murdered. So Rufus knows that someone is after him, and so will he get out of his trouble and find the true killer, is the story of this book. If you look at the condition of the book, it's like in a very, very bad condition. So if you ask me, like, if I fold the pages of this book, I think it would break. This book has been published in 1998, so that's why I think it's pretty bad. And so when I went to the billing counter and was billing this book, the guy in the billing counter told me this book costs 100 rupees. And I was like, no, seriously, I'm not going to pay 100 rupees for this book. Look at the condition. And he was like, okay, maybe you could pay me 50 rupees. And I was like, no. And then I don't know what he thought. He told me, okay, you buy one extra book, I'll give you this book for free. And I got this book for free by buying an extra book. So I like this book in extra for, coming home for free. One of the reasons why I love book fairs is because you can buy a lot of books at super deals. So usually I used to buy books for as cheap as 50 rupees, but I think because of this pandemic situation, there was not many shops. There was only one store which was actually offering English novels, and this guy told the basic price was 100 rupees. All the books that we bought were like 100 or 200. That was the basic price, and that was quite disheartening, because if it had been 50 rupees, I would have bought double the number of books that I have now. So that is kind of quite disappointing. But other than that, I'm so happy that I get to buy in book fairs, because book fairs are really nice and I love them. So that's all for today's video. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you had liked my haul, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to Nari Bookarazzi, and also click on the bell icon over there so that you will get notified whenever I post a video. So until then, take care, bye bye.